Welcome back to another video. Today we're breaking down everything officially revealed so far for arcraiders Riven Tides, the next major update estimated to come out on April 28th around the following time. And honestly, this is shaping up to be the biggest arcraiders update we've had yet, and there's a lot more coming than just a new map. We're talking a brand new coastal zone, a new large arc enemy or boss, a new map condition, major expedition progression changes, skill tree updates, new cosmetics, and potentially new legendary loot. So with all that being said, let's jump into the details. First off, the biggest confirmed addition in Riven Tides is, of course, the brand new coastal biome map. This new area is located in the bottom left of the Rust Belt below Buried City, and it's the first major map expansion we've seen since launch. This is huge because new maps are one of the most important updates in extraction shooters. A new map means new loot routes, new PvP zones, new boss areas, new extracts, and a whole new meta. And the devs have already revealed several named locations on this map, including the Exodus Hotel named Panorama Azuro, meaning blue view, the pool and beachfront water park, the customs house, and the stacking yard. And each of these areas sounds like they'll create very different combat scenarios. For example, Panorama Azuro sounds like a multi-floor resort or hotel, which means indoor fights, stairwells, rooftop control, and close quarters PvP. The stacking yard sounds like a container yard with industrial lanes and open sight lines, which could become a major PvP hotspot. And since this is a coastal biome, the overall atmosphere is going to be very different from the industrial environments we've seen so far, and we'll talk more about that in the new map condition section. The next huge reveal is that Riven Tides is adding a new large arc enemy. Now, when Embark says large arc enemy, it means it's a boss tier arc. We know this as in the past when Embark says quote arc threat, that usually means normal enemy types like the Shredder, Firefly, or Comets that we got. But when they say quote large arc, it points towards boss level enemies like we got with the Queen or Matriarch. And while Embark hasn't revealed the exact mechanics of this new large arc yet, there are heavy hints that it may be very different from previous bosses. The devs have been teasing players to quote watch the sky, and there's been that mysterious UFO-like arc appearing in storms. So if you combine new large arc, watch the sky, and aerial teasers in storms, it points to one huge possibility. The new arc may be airborne, which would be the first flying boss in the game. And if that's true, it would completely change how players approach boss fights, which could make it one of the most dynamic arc boss encounters yet. And as always, a new boss likely means new rewards, like a potential new legendary crafting component, a rare weapon blueprint, or exclusive high-end gear similar to the Queen or Matriarch boss loot, which gives new reasons for players to fight over it. Another confirmed feature in Riven Tides is the new map condition. Now, this might sound small, but map conditions are one of the most impactful systems in arcraiders because they directly change how each raid feels. Now, previous map conditions introduced visibility changes with hurricane, environmental hazards, pressure on movement, and now Riven Tides is adding another one. Embark hasn't again revealed exactly what this new condition is yet, but because the update is coastal, there are strong hints that it may involve storms, flooding, tidal effects, water hazards, etc. And if flooding or tides are part of the condition, that would be a massive gameplay change because environmental hazards that affect movement are much more impactful than hazards that just affect damage or visibility. So imagine if parts of the map slowly flooded during the raid. That would mean loot routes changing, paths becoming blocked, and extracts becoming riskier. That would force players to constantly adapt during the raid, making matches much more dynamic. And it kind of reminds me of Battlefield 4's flood zone map, where the dam or something breaks and floods the map, forcing players to play differently. So this would honestly be one of the coolest things to see get added in Arc. Now, one of the biggest systemic changes in this update is the rework to expedition progression. Previously, players earned bonus skill points through the stash value. That means players could progress by simply increasing the value of their gear or the loot in their stash. But with Riven Tides, bonus skill points will now be earned through damage dealt during an extended window from the 28th of April at the following times on screen, and you'll have 13 days to sign up and complete the requirements. And on the 11th of May at the following times on screen, all players who have signed up will depart automatically, and the damage requirements are as follows. As stated by Embark in this post, all damage, by the way, counts individually, so it does not function the same way as farming trial points in a duo or trio, so you'll have to share damage with your teammates if you decide to tackle this in a team. Now, this is a huge change because it shifts progression away from passive play and toward active combat. So under the old system, players could avoid fights, farm loot, hoard value, and progress passively, but now players have to actually actively participate in combat. That means more aggressive players get rewarded, passive ratting becomes less effective, and PvP incentivizes increase. And that could dramatically change the feel of raids. Now, players who previously avoided combat now have a reason to engage. That means more firefights, more contested zones, and more aggressive lobbies, at least towards the end of the season. Now, the biggest thing to understand when it comes to expeditions is that expedition rewards are tied to your personal expedition progression, meaning the rewards you earn depend on how many expeditions you personally have completed, not which expedition season the game is currently on. So, if this is your first expedition, you earn the first tier of rewards shown on screen in red. If it's your second, you unlock the second tier in yellow, and so on. That being said, this image is a good recap of all the perks and rewards you will earn. So if this is your third expedition, the perks and rewards are as follows in the green text. Now, one of the best quality of life additions to expeditions is the new last call system. So previously, if you finished the caravan but forgot to sign up during the expedition window, you missed your chance entirely. Now, if you completed the caravan but didn't sign up in time, the next time you log in, you'll receive a last call pop-up giving you one final chance to join. That means you can still claim expedition progression and you won't lose the expedition entirely. The trade-off is that damage challenge rewards and skill points are not granted through last call. So it helps players stay on track but still rewards players who sign up on time, and this is kind of like a really good middle ground, I feel, from what they had previously. The devs also revealed how future expedition rewards will progress. So completing the third expedition unlocks the full patchwork outfit, while the fourth expedition begins unlocking an entirely new cosmetic set. That means expedition cosmetics are going to continue evolving beyond the current reward track. The devs also said they're actively collecting feedback and plan to improve things like reward quality, progression value, reset systems, and they specifically mentioned that they understand the player concerns around losing full progression, and they're looking at adjusting what resets and what carries forward in future expeditions. That's important because it shows the expedition system is still evolving, and if rewards keep improving, expeditions may become one of the more valuable progression systems in the game, especially if you never bothered in the past. Another big thing that's changing, maybe not with this update in particular, but in the future, are the skill tree changes. Embark has acknowledged that the current skill tree needs work, and the devs openly admitted that many of these skills feel underwhelming and that significant changes are coming. Riven Tides appears to be the first step in that process, so the confirmed change so far is that extra skill points are no longer tied to wealth but to combat contribution. That may sound like part of the expedition rework, but it also signals a larger design shift. So if devs improve the skill tree, it could make progression more satisfying and more impactful and incentivize the players that never really took part in expeditions to actually take a part of it now. Also, this update will rotate out the flashpoint projects, including the high gain antenna project. That means players need to finish current projects before April 28th if they want the rewards from that project. Separate from the store rotation, several new cosmetic sets have already been teased in promotional materials. These outfits appear to include futuristic tactical armor, cybernetic enhancements, and upgraded visual customization options. This suggests Embark is expanding customization depth alongside the gameplay update, and for players who care about cosmetics, this adds another layer of excitement for launch day. And that's about everything that has been either revealed officially or teased from Embark so far for the Riven Tides update. And so to recap, Riven Tides is bringing in a brand new coastal map, a new large arc boss, a new map condition, expedition progression reworks, skill tree changes, project rotations, new cosmetics, and likely new loot rewards. And if all of this lands well, Riven Tides could easily become one of the most important updates arcraiders has had so far, and to be honest, we are way overdue for some exciting new content that will spark players to rejoin the game and bring back some of that former player base as well. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you're most excited for. The new map? Is it the new boss? Or the progression changes? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more Arc Raiders content, and I'll catch you guys in the next raid. Peace out.